We're about to watch the fastest predator on our planet in action, so try not to blink, cause you might miss it. I'm not even kidding. Falcons are insanely fast, and they only need to touch their targets before it's game over for the poor creatures, which is exactly what we're about to see today. Thinking that it owned the sky, this red-tailed hawk was flying around scanning the landscape for its next meal, but it was suddenly attacked by an even more dangerous predator, a peregrine falcon. The falcon spotted the hawk flying at a lower altitude and decided to remind it who was the ultimate killing machine, and it dove down and struck the unsuspecting hawk, instantly knocking it down to the ground. The attack dealt a bigger blow to the hawk's ego than it did to its flying ability, reminding it that it wasn't a true ruler of the skies. The roles were reversed here, when a falcon decided to attack a peregrine falcon all of a sudden. As usual, the two birds were in the sky when the falcon came swooping down like a laser-guided missile. It caught the peregrine falcon off guard and struck it without mercy, causing it to take a dive straight down. There wasn't much of a battle. One bird was clearly superior to the other, and it decided to establish its dominance. If the peregrine was to survive that fall, its next move was probably to try to get as far away from that area as possible. Having to constantly look over your shoulders is no way to live, but it's the only existence that these birds know. As you can see here, this peregrine falcon spotted a pigeon flying low nearby, and it immediately went after it, snatching it right out of the air and instantly killing it. The falcon simply wanted to feed its chicks, and the poor pigeon was just the first thing that it could find. The pigeon was probably looking for something to eat too, so the falcon probably ended up saving some worms or whatever pigeons prey upon. Saving worms and feeding chicks? Good job, falcon! In a high-speed chase, a peregrine falcon went after a pigeon that was doing its best not to get captured. The falcon was too fast for the pigeon, of course, and it was too aggressive. There was no way that it was going to let its dinner escape. And even though the pigeon was able to evade capture for a short while at first, it ended up getting struck down just like any other bird that faces these avian monsters. The chase was a thrilling one though. The pigeon did better than most other birds would have been able to do. A peregrine falcon spotted a flock of pigeons flying in the air and decided to use one of them to satiate its hunger. It dove down like a fighter jet, and even though the pigeons sensed it coming, they had no way of escaping its wrath, and it ended up capturing one of the pigeons and snapping its neck instantly before flying away with it and carrying it back to its nest. It's always amazing when you see these avian beasts capture their prey mid-air. I'm not sure if you know this, but the peregrine falcon is the fastest flying animal on our planet, and it's almost impossible to escape it if it sets its eyes on a target. As you can see here, it spotted an eagle that was even bigger in size and descended upon it like a lightning strike, and it struck it down and knocked it out of the air in an instant. It looked like something straight out of a World War II air battle where the good guys destroy one of the enemy warplanes. Another pigeon was flying around without a care in the world when a vicious falcon came at it out of nowhere here. Flying at 1,000,000 miles per hour, the deadly falcon struck the pigeon and knocked it right out of the air, instantly killing the unfortunate bird. It's amazing how they can kill their targets seemingly without touching them. They make it look like a scene straight out of an anime samurai show or something. Not only did this peregrine falcon capture a pigeon midair, it also started tearing it apart while flying away with it, which is something that you don't usually see. But this falcon seemed like it was in a big hurry to get its meal ready for consumption. I'm not sure if the pigeon was dead or still alive, but either way, that was exceptionally cruel, even for these bloodthirsty monsters. Believe it or not, this giant golden eagle was taken down by a falcon that was smaller than half of its size. The falcon came crashing into it mid-air, and as big and dangerous as the golden eagle is, It looked like nothing more than another pigeon when the falcon attacked it. It fell out of the sky unconscious after the falcon's unbelievably fast strike. I never knew that falcons were this much stronger than eagles, but I guess you learn something new every day. A red-tailed hawk tried to attack a bald eagle from above here, but just at the last moment, the bald eagle sensed the hawk coming, and instead of trying to fly away and escape, it did something really smart. It turned around and pointed its talons towards the hawk. It wanted to engage in a fair battle with the hawk, but the hawk wasn't interested in a face-to-face combat. It wanted a swift and clean victory, and now that it was discovered, it decided to just cut its losses and fly away. The eagle's prayers must have been answered. Here we have a hawk that was terrorizing the skies and bullying every other bird, until a falcon spotted it. The falcon went after it without any hesitation, and it tried to strike it right on the head with its deadly talons. But the hawk's reflexes were quick enough to allow it to avoid the attack, which could have killed it instantly and ended the hawk's reign of terror. Here we have a very clear shot of how these killers knock down predators that are way bigger than themselves out of the sky without breaking a sweat. They come flying at full speed and strike their target right on the head, disorienting them and causing them to free fall towards the ground. The attack alone usually kills them, but even when it doesn't, the fall takes care of the rest. This one came at its target like it was a literal bullet. It literally knocked the wind out of the poor thing, and a good amount of its feathers too. They fly at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. That's like a race car crashing into you midair. That unfortunate bird never really had a chance. An epic battle took place between a raptor falcon and an eagle here, and guess who came tumbling down to the ground? The falcon spotted the much bigger eagle and decided to have it for dinner, and right away, it launched its attack. The eagle tried to fight the falcon off, probably wondering how such a small bird even had the nerve to challenge it. A very short and very decisive battle ensued between the two predators, and the foolish eagle ended up falling out of the sky dead at the end of it. It should have never stayed or tried to fight. It should have tried to escape at any cost. But even then, falcons are much faster, and it would have been impossible for the eagle to get very far. It was doomed from the very moment that the falcon set its eyes on it. Another poor bird was ambushed while flying high here. Falcons make it very difficult for any creature to survive their attacks. There are simply no safe spaces. They'll get you in the sky, and they'll get you on the ground. You just need to choose where you want to die. When a falcon raided an eagle's nest here, the eagle was absolutely furious, and it tried to attack the falcon and stop it from killing its chicks. But all we could see was a glimpse of the battle between the two avian predators, as most of the battle happened out of the camera's capture. We do know who won though, as the falcon returned a short while later and claimed the nest for itself. The eagle was probably dead by then. Take a look at what happens when falcons fight. They only fight to the death, and they're not spooked by the presence of humans even. No matter what happens, they'll keep going until one of them ends up dead, which was exactly what happened here. These two vicious birds got into a fight and refused to stop even when the cameraman got very close to them, and one of them ended up killing the other. One of the most genius falcon hunts was captured here. The hungry predator wanted something to eat, and when it spotted a pelican many times its size, it decided to completely neutralize it with only one move. It didn't dive down and attack it from behind like it usually does. It dove under it and then came up really fast, striking the bottom of its beak and leaving the rest to the wind resistance, as it knew that it wasn't going to allow it to turn its head back around. Knocking and snatching other birds right out of the air is these birds' specialty, and as you can see here, these oblivious pigeons were flying around minding their own business when a falcon decided to kidnap one of them, and it did. The pigeon's feathers were falling off as it tried to struggle, but it was completely hopeless. It was going to get killed and eaten by the falcon, and there was nothing that it could do about it. Another deadly collision took place here when a falcon spotted another bird that it wanted to eat. The falcon came in at a mind-boggling speed, striking the other bird and instantly snapping its neck. They're like the bullets or arrows of the animal kingdom. They come at their targets with insane speeds, and they instantly kill them upon contact. They're simply unstoppable. I used to feel sorry for herbivorous animals that live in Africa, but now I feel sorry for birds in general. Birds that aren't falcons and that exist in falcon-dominated areas, which is everywhere that falcons exist, let's face it. This poor bird never got a warning or anything. Its life was taken away in an instant with a simple touch from the vicious falcon. I would have never believed that these small birds were capable of hunting the pelican giants if it hadn't been caught on tape. There's just too much of a size difference for it to be believable, but as you can see here, this falcon was chasing after not one pelican, but a flock of them, and they were all trying their best to get away from it, probably scared out of their minds. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below, and don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it, and please turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.